Is that fast?
Because I think that was fast. And welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up? Look at this.
I'm the only one without cards. And Steve!
Was this your card?
It is
No,
now.
I think this is my card.
Hey, if I think really hard, that can be my card.
And it is. It's the Cardi Bulls. It's the
That's right.
Ace of Spades.
And if you don't
The
know what we're
Ace of
talking about,
Spades.
we are going to
Watch
be
the movie.
discussing the 1994 movie Maverick. You know what? Let's actually take a look at the trailer for that movie. And here we go.
I'll see your bet, and I'll call. I'm running low on chips here.
Two pair, ace of a queen.
Oh, lucky thing for me, I had 3 sixes. Sorry.
Yabo!
Losing streak. Nice pie. I don't see what's
Love
so...
that guy.
Whoa, hey, where's the fire, son? I'm a gambler. You're a gunfighter. Fact of the matter is, if I'd have tried to face you down, I mean, what chance would I have had? Absolute zero.
Whoop! That was fast.
None, whatever.
Was that fast?
Want to see it again?
Mel Gibson,
Damn thing won't stay in the holster. Whoop!
Jodie Foster,
Yeah, they went far with that
It's
one.
called Maverick.
Yeah.
And my name is Annabelle Bransford. I'll be taking the stage.
so am I.
So am I.
James Garner,
can relax and enjoy the journey now.
Maverick,
Don't worry. Don't
Maverick.
worry about it. I got it all under control.
The original Maverick.
remember my first runaway stage.
He's in it, yeah.
a Richard Donner film,
Don't you think you should go out there and help him?
Well, I could do that, absolutely, but after he's worked so hard, he might resent it.
with a little luck, Maverick will be here.
Dealer's choice? Okay, 5 card stud, but no, I think I prefer draw.
Go.
You gotta learn to loosen up, kid. Have some fun. This is poker.
Man, that tells you absolutely nothing about
Nothing
what
about
happens
this.
in that movie.
They can't
Exactly.
give everything away.
Why don't they make Oh, no, they can't give everything away. Let's go watch the first
Like they do
trailer
now.
they made for
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home. My God. No, that's such
Yeah.
a good trailer.
Well, Mikey the Freak, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this
A
movie?
little more. Let's see. It basically states Brett Maverick, needing money for a poker tournament, faces various comic mishaps and challenges, including a charming woman thief, which, as you can see, was played by Jodie Foster.
Annabelle.
And that doesn't even tell a lot either. You know, we kind of start off where it's a I guess a flashback from where we at now, and then we have to catch up. So we kind of flash back to get to the point at the beginning of the movie.
We
where
start
he's
at the present, and then we have the flashback,
And then
Correct.
we have the flashback.
Correct.
which
yeah,
is 90% of the movie. Yeah.
yeah. So by the time we get to that point, you're like an hour and 40 minutes into the
Yeah.
movie. And you're like, oh, so we're here now. Yeah. So so basically he's paid, or someone is paid to make sure he does not make the biggest poker game on the Lauren Bell, which is a
Steamboat.
steamboat. I guess it was
Yeah.
a steamboat. Yeah.
Yeah.
25,000.
It's a ferry.
Ferry. No, it's not a steamboat. $25,000 entry. That was a lot back in,
Yeah.
I would say, 1800s. That was a lot of money.
It's a lot
So-
now.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know. From what they pay on poker tournaments, that's nothing
Mhm.
apparently. So so he goes through different ways of he comic mishaps, which is he tries to rob a bank to try to get the rest of his money, but that's kind of a joke as well, because the guy owes him some money, so he jokes as he's robbing the bank, but he actually knows the owner of the bank. So there's a lot of backstabbing and lying and going through different types of the people or characters that he meets. But he runs into a bunch of issues. Alfred Molina, that's in this, plays a thug that is, was it?
You mean he plays the
Angel?
main protagonist?
Yeah.
Angel? I think that
Yeah, I
was his
think
name,
so.
right?
I think it was Angel.
Angel,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so it ends up that he's trying to stop Maverick. So they meet towards the opening of the movie they actually meet and in the little saloon, little town, and it kind of prequels to what's going to happen later on. So he knows that he's going to end up stopping Maverick and trying to stop Maverick from making the game. So it's a lot of mishaps. They run into Jodie Foster as well. They run into James Garner, which is the original Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff that goes on, a lot of fun parts, comic parts. I kind of didn't go into a lot of details.
That's
So
fine. Yeah.
anybody want to elaborate as well?
Yeah,
Steven,
Steve.
why don't
Yeah,
you
What?
elaborate a little bit more on it?
okay, so I want to go on record as saying I think that when Alfred Molina is introduced to the movie, he has no actual intention of that with Maverick. It's not until he gets the telegram saying make sure Maverick doesn't get it, and that's a day or two after meeting him. I don't mean to be that
Yeah.
guy, but I think their first encounter is just them playing cards.
Pure coincidental.
Yeah.
Pure
Oh
coincidental.
yeah, because he's
The
kind of
the
scared of
reason he gets
Maverick, and
back
it was
on the
all a
track,
joke. Yeah,
the reason he gets back on Maverick is because the hillbillies that ran their mouths after Maverick told them not to run their mouths. And then you mentioned the bank
Yeah.
robbery, and you failed to mention probably the highlight of the movie, in
Oh,
which
yeah.
Danny
Go ahead,
Glover
Danny Glover.
actually robs the bank.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson pulls down his bandana, and they both look at each other, and they're like, "No." And then the other one's like, "No." While in the background, you hear the from Lethal Weapon. You hear
Yeah.
oh my god. Even me, and this came out in what, 94?
And then
Yeah.
Danny Glover says his
So
famous line.
I'm
Getting
getting
too
too
old
old
for
for
this
this shit.
Yeah.
So this came out in 94. So in 94, I was 11 to 12 years old, and even at that age, I got the Lethal Weapon reference,
Yeah.
which I thought was hilarious. No, this film is great. It's one of those movies that, as a kid, didn't know who Alfred Molina was. As an adult, I love Alfred Molina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So him being in this is a treat. Lots of good random country stars and random bit players in the poker scene.
Yeah.
At the end, including Dan Hedaya, I believe, who's going to be Tully from the Addams Family.
Yep.
Yeah.
About the same time frame.
Yeah, and neither of you would probably know him, but one of the guys is just a random character from a show in the 90s called Out of This World, which is about a human and an alien that have a baby. And one of the guys is the next door neighbor. Don't ask me why I remember it. No, I love this movie, man. I remember seeing it in the theater, and I remember my dad drove a big white panel van for work, and they had a big standee for Maverick, and we drove home with the standee. They just gave it to us.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's probably destroyed now, but
at least you had it for a little bit. Yeah. I love this movie. This is one of my favorite. This is top three favorite poker movies. I mean, not that there's a bunch of poker movies out there.
Yeah,
but
I was about to say, what are the other two?
The only other one I can name
Rounders?
was Rounders. Yeah,
love Rounders.
And Casino Royale.
There you go. But
yeah, go ahead.
This movie was hilarious. I mean, Mel Gibson played this shows his comic chops in this movie.
Yeah.
Not so much. I don't think he really has that nowadays. He's way too serious about what he does now. But this back then, comic chops. The acting in this movie was great. You just ran into a whole bunch of people who like owed him money, and he had to con people. Even the people who you thought were his friends were still conning him.
Everybody's
I got him up to $1,000.
Yeah, I mean it's a total. Everybody's conning everybody throughout this whole movie. It's just a fun movie. Just sit and watch a nice western ish movie.
You also get Bluto from Robin Williams' Popeye.
Yes,
he's the Russian.
I love they con him because he was it Indian Affairs when he gets on the movie. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make some more money. Watch this."
It's the things that he has to do in the movie to get back up to the money without being conned out of the money he already has. Just It's great. It's a great movie. Mikey the Freak,
Yeah,
why don't you go ahead and give us your rating for this
yeah.
movie?
I always thought that the one of the best parts is you kind of have a feeling, but James Garner Coop ended up
Mm-hmm.
conning them out of the money, and then Angel was in on it as well. So
Mm-hmm.
he had the straight flush, and you see James Colburn's character was like, oh, holy shit, I just got beat, and I thought my 4/8 were good.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end of the movie, ends up they're both father and son, and they were in on it the whole time. So they had to
There's
do it.
little
That
hints
was
dropped
great.
throughout the whole
Yeah.
movie, and of course, Jodie Foster figured it out because she slept with them both.
You
So,
Yeah, she
both
ended
you
up
both
sleeping with
sing
them.
the wrong words to Amazing Grace. No, we
yep,
don't.
What splendid similarities.
yes.
But yeah, I love this movie, and you mentioned poker movies. It's definitely one of my top two poker movies because I do like Rounders a little bit better than Maverick, but this one is it's funnier. So if I had to go with a fun, entertaining movie, whether it was poker or not, Maverick would be the one to go to. This is a solid 9 for me. I love this movie in the '90s. Saw it in the theaters as well. It was one of those where I liked Mel Gibson at the time with a lot of his '90s movies that were
We all
coming
love
out.
Mel Gibson in the
I
Yeah,
know.
'90s.
I mean,
yeah. He
that
was
was
the
his
king of the
time.
'90s. He was the king of
Yeah,
the '90s.
that
Yeah.
was his time. So there were a bunch of movies that he came out with around that time frame that were good. So this is just another one that he added to his '90s collection. So yeah, it's a solid 9 for me all around. Funny, cool western. The cards was good. The fight scene was okay. Because it was supposed to be staged, of course.
Right.
And then they had the all those twists and turns that kind of kept you on the edge of your seat. It's kind of like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. That kind of thing. So, Steven, let me know what do you rate it, bud?
I'd give it a solid 9. It's I'm right there with you. It's a 9 out of 10. It's a great, fun movie, poker, western, comedy, all around. It's got a great cast of characters. It's a movie
Yeah.
that you can put on just about any time and enjoy
Mhm.
yourself.
Mhm.
Even up into and him throwing his final ace out onto the table. You know what I mean? Like the
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
whole you know.
It does have a lot of cheese in it. That's for sure. Yeah. A lot of.
I don't really think it did because I don't think cheese was actually a product that was manufactured a lot during that time in the West. So I mean, I
Cheesy
didn't
part.
even.
Cheesy part.
You did see milk. You did. There was a guy that was drinking like a shot glass of milk at the
Yeah.
poker game. So you have to think that cheese was probably there, but I didn't really see any.
Okay. Well, I am going to rate this movie a. I'm right there with you at a 9, but I think I'm going to give it an 8.5, just because of some of the cheesy aspects of the movie.
You didn't like the soundtrack. That's what it was. You didn't like country music soundtrack, which I thought the soundtrack was very good.
No,
Oh, we got a long way to go, and we're going together, going down the river. Man, this gig don't like it.
I liked it. It was a great movie. I just don't think for me. I don't think it's a nine movie. I think it's 8.5, but it's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
You heard it. You heard it here, folks. He rated it an 85 out of 10. An 8.5. He went
85.
way above 10.
Way
Bearded
above and
Geek
beyond. Yes.
loves this movie.
Steve, do you happen to have any interesting facts about this movie?
I do have some fun, interesting facts about this movie. The
From what?
What?
steamship.
You said that again? Interesting.
I do have some fun and interesting facts about
There
this
you go.
movie. The steamship Lauren Bell is named for producer Lauren Schuler Donner, wife of Richard Donner. She also appears as the I can't speak, as the bathhouse maid. Zane Cooper calls her Miss D as she is leaving.
Oh yeah.
Oh. The film, here we go. The film is loaded with famous cameos of country singers such as Carlene Carter playing the waitress on the riverboat, Hal Ketchum, bank robber, Vince Gill, spectator at the poker game, Clint Black, the first gambler that gets thrown off for cheating, Waylon Jennings, and
Yep.
Kathy Mattea, two people with guns on the riverboat. The $25,000 or $2,500 needed to enter the poker tournament in the 19th century would be approximately $600,000 in
Jesus Christ.
2004 terms.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
So probably about
25,000, 600,000. Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah.
And Annabelle keeps calling Brett Bert. This is actually a reference to an episode of the television series in which a girlfriend of Bert's or Brett's keeps calling him Bert. And let's see. Well, of course, you mentioned, of course, that James Garner plays the
Yeah, the
original Brett
original
Maverick.
Maverick. Yep.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's a bunch on here. Clint Black, the sweet-faced gambler, also sang the song "Good Run of Bad Luck" on the soundtrack. The song plays during the first round of poker of the tournament. Ironically, just as the song ends, Black's character is caught for cheating and thrown off the boat.
Now,
Makes sense.
I also saw oh my mind just went blank.
Must have been a lie. Bearded
No,
Geek.
no, no, no.
You,
Uncle Jesse.
From the Dukes of Hazzard,
Dukes
yes.
of Hazzard.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like when he gets thrown off the boat and the way he kicks his legs as he's falling down.
He holds his hat and kicks
Yeah.
it like that. I thought that was
Bearded
so funny.
Bearded Geek. Do you have any movie-related material? Is that the proper timing for the?
It is the proper timing. Unfortunately, I do not have any.
Oh, but Mikey the Freak does. Let us see that Maverick case card one more time.
There we go. If you would like one of these, you can pick yours up at your local Walmart for $3 or so.
You
Yeah, I
can
think it
go
was like
on Voodoo.
$1.50 or something like
It's
that.
available for streaming for $2 to $3.99. You can buy it for who knows how much because my brother-in-law already owned it on Voodoo.
Nice. Mikey the Freak, do you have any related reels, sir?
Yes, absolutely. I always have a bunch of cool, interesting tidbits. Denver Pyle was the guy I'm thinking of. I apologize. Denver
Okay.
Pyle was Uncle Jesse from the Dukes of Hazzard. A bunch of cameos. You did talk about Danny Hedaya. I always loved him in that. I completely forgot he was in it, and I watched it again. I'm like, no shit, that's right, he was in it. And then Dub Taylor. Dub Taylor was in it too. Dub Taylor was the one from Back to the Future 3. Good day, blacksmith. He was the one with the white hair on the sides with the top hat.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll see that again. That was always funny. I love Dub Taylor. He's always the one sitting at the bar or sitting at the table with the rest of them. So let's go with Mel Gibson. So Mel Gibson, one of my favorite movies from Mel Gibson, The Patriot, was a great American Revolutionary War movie with him. What Women Want, one of his other comedic '90s movies. That was a very funny movie back then as well. Signs, the M. Night Shyamalan movie Signs, also a great movie. Some of his older stuff, Bird on a Wire. That was
Goldie
always
Hawn.
Yep, that was always a good movie. And then Forever Young. Forever Young was a good one too. So if
It's
you
got
haven't seen that one,
It's got Elijah Wood.
correct? Yes, Elijah Wood. Jodie Foster. I went with some of her bigger ones. Silence of the Lambs. Always a good thriller movie. Contact is a good movie with her. Panic Room. And then a sleeper movie that I always thought was good, Stilling Home with Mark Harmon.
I don't think
If
I've
you
seen
haven't
one,
seen
yeah.
that one, that was a very good movie as well. And then of course I did Alfred Molina. Had to go with Alfred Molina. One of the biggest ones, Spider-Man, Doctor Octopus, even in the new one, No Way Home. Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nick Cage, and then Boogie Nights. I gotta go with Boogie Nights. I love Boogie Nights.
You save yourself on Boogie Nights, but I have to say, Mikey the Freak, it is Spider-Man 2. You said Spider-Man. Doc Ock is in Spider-Man 2.
He was in No Way Home.
Yeah, but you said Spider-Man.
I said No Way Home. He was in the Spider-Man.
He's correcting you on the first one you said. I get it.
I know it's Spider-Man 2. I kind of went the Spider-Man movies. So. Either way,
but
either way,
Boogie Nights fucking amazing.
Love Boogie
You
Nights.
guys,
Love
you
Boogie
guys want to
Nights.
play some baseball? Oh man. They try and tell you which order to listen to the tape, and I take it and then I put them in the order that I want to listen to. Which one is this, Cosmo? What order? This is tape number 7. This is tape number 7. Sorry, I love Boogie Nights. That scene is by far.
And Melina has such a small part in that movie, but it's such a
but
big
it's so
integral
good.
part. Such a big integral part in the turning point of Thomas Jane's character, and of course, yes, Dirk Diggler.
Dirk Diggler, yeah. And John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly's also.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, as we come to a close, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
You can find me on my podcast, The Last Podcast You'd Want, where in my last episode, Clerks 3, you can hear me talk about how I'm on this show.
Yeah.
And that drops whenever. Me and Travis are just having fun doing that. It's available wherever, YouTube, but like this show, give it all the thumbins. I have just as much fun here, as I do with my buddy Travis. So
yeah, we try to keep it light and friendly here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, as we come to a close, do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you like this movie, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. Tell us what you thought in the comments.
What's your favorite scene?
Yes. What is your favorite scene from Maverick? Let us know in the comments. Well, I do believe that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Mikey the Freak and Steve, I am the Bearded Geek saying, keep it retro, everybody.
Peace.
Ah!